Welcome back, everybody. Will and I Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe, and today we're going to be talking about TAP ecosystem.
And ICP.
And ICP, yeah.
Not too much about ICP because, man, that shit's fucking confusing.
We were perusing on the homepage, and we're like, damn.
This is not our first experience. Like, we wanted to deep dive into ICP
years ago,
last
year.
Maybe like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. How does it launch at 20 billion, then go down to like 2 billion or whatever it's at?
That's what was happening, right? We were questioning, like, what happened? And apparently there's like an FTX tie-in. Sam Bankman kind of like rugged them in a sense.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Alameda Research. Whatever. That's in the past, right? That actually never happened. Let's forget the traumatic events of yesterday. Yeah. But nonetheless, like, their technology is still obviously very prevalent.
Yeah.
To the point where TAP and Benny has decided to like commence this critical integration.
Yeah.
Right? To kind of push forward everything that's being built in the ecosystem, including DMT potentially, right?
Yeah. So Benny's been talking about this for a little while, but now he's gone through with it, and
yeah, I mean, I guess the question is, and we've asked it ourselves, like, what, you know, we're in this L1 stage of Bitcoin's maturation cycle, so it's like it's gonna start with the metaprotocols,
yeah,
as opposed to starting from like L2s. Like, you know, maybe they jumped the gun a little too quickly. So it's like, you know, once these L1 metaprotocols actually achieve some sort of critical, like, I don't know, killer application for Bitcoin, how will they scale from there? Like, you know, from like a metaprotocol state, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I guess Benny's taking the first crack at it, dude.
Yeah, he's thinking ahead. That's why we like Benny. He's always been thinking ahead.
Yeah, because, I mean, everybody was asking him, was like, dude, okay, yeah, it's cool. You can build DeFi on L1, right? You know, with using the TAP protocol features, do this thing called OrdFi, right? It says here right on their homepage, OrdFi enabling protocol. Well, like, once you actually get to that point, how are you going to address, like, Bitcoin's actual innate, like, limitations of scalability, right?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll show you guys one day. So here we are. Today's that day.
Yeah. All right, so what is Trac and what is TAP? What are these things that you probably never heard of until this video?
Potentially. A lot of you guys have, but yeah, I mean, this is still like in its infancy, right?
Yeah. So Trac, we were first introduced to Trac, early March time
during
frame?
the BRC20, very first BRC20 tokens.
Yeah, so Trac, the token, BRC20 token, was one of the first times we discovered like actual project-based development, rather than just a meme coin.
Correct.
And so we looked into it and we figured out, I was like, wait a minute, Trac is indexing all of Bitcoin and he's allowing developers to build on top of the TAP protocol.
Yep.
And so that's what it is. This is the homepage, and TAP has created a protocol that allows for secure and accessible development on Bitcoin. So we're a testament of that. We've been building on TAP for a good minute here.
About six months or so?
6 months since the launch of DMT. And there was no other place to launch anything besides TAP.
Correct.
And so
Benny... Unless you were just trying to deploy a meme, you know.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Benny has always built a platform for developers, and those are the ones to pay attention to.
Yeah, that's always been our thesis for everything, right? It's like you service the developers, that's where you actually create real value. I mean, the market doesn't seem to agree at the moment. The market doesn't seem to care about like development progress or not, but they will at some point once this meme mania exhausts. They're going to be left like, what the fuck? What have we done? Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Right? So it's up to the developers to figure that out. And if we don't actually nurture that certain sector group of talented individuals and bring that into the Bitcoin space, this shit really does, it just falls flat.
It all goes to zero.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So
right.
Here we go. So yeah, I mean, if you want the actual deep dive technicals of how TAP works, it's all right here.
Yeah, so we're looking at GitHub. This is the TAP introduction white paper. And so you kind of read through this. You get into token authorization.
Yeah. Yeah, all the different little like privilege auth, which is what enables things like MScribe,
right,
to actually
DMT stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of DMT stuff in here. So what this demonstrates is the protocol's ability to extend really into any different vertical
Yeah.
Right. So that's why it enables things like DeFi. Right. Now you can sensibly implement something like staking under this protocol umbrella.
Correct.
Right. So that's a big fucking deal. You can already do things like airdrops, which obviously on Bitcoin are a huge deal. We just the number one meme coin on Bitcoin right now was an airdropped token.
Very expensive.
Very expensive one.
Yeah.
Right? They had to like manually cook, I guess, aggregate all those funds from the community to actually execute on that. And like you always say, that is a non-replicable,
correct,
like meta. So therefore, it probably won't happen too many times again.
Yeah, and that's sort of like a feature from their perspective. It's like, nobody can really do this because they don't have the funds, and so
or like the influencer pool to
correct.
I guess get that many people to contribute. So
so
you're right. It's good for that. For dogs scenario, but it's not good for like the Bitcoin ecosystem as a whole. Like we need things where anybody could tap into and create value.
Yeah, exactly. We need growth potential, not just one-off events.
Correct.
All right. So who else is building on TAP? It's Foxy, right? They're building a metaverse on TAP.
Yeah, Foxy's been around since the inception of Bitmap, roughly.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, there's a social integration. There's a social layer to the metaverse experience, so let's build out something around that.
Yep.
We know firsthand that's true. Metaverse seems to be like a very good, like, common meeting grounds for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, we always say that everything leads to the metaverse.
Yeah.
Right, and so there's going to be a ton more activity here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so another one, Ghosty Cash. So this is interesting because it allows for the swapping of tokens in a very unique way. It's like almost magic. You essentially swap any assets with each other, and all of a sudden it just works.
Yeah. And there's like a privacy element here as well. So
yeah,
there's a lot to explore. Ghosty Cash has been making like periodic announcements on different, and I guess enhancements to how they're facilitating all this. But obviously, swapping is a critical infrastructure tool and like a primitive for DeFi activity. So along with stable coins and all these other different facets, right? So it's a good signal to see like developers like this who are focused on the DeFi side of things. They've chosen TAP as their ecosystem support.
Yeah. Another one is Traverse.
So you know a little bit about this one, right?
Yeah. So this is like focused on a keyless recovery system for your wallets. It's pretty cool. So they have like a multi-layer approach where it's sort of like a multi-sig situation where they can recover your lost wallet, right? As long as you still have access to like your phone or some other hardware device.
Jeez, dude, that sounds very.
It's very user friendly. Like,
well, you're the security guy, dude. Like you secure everything. Like your loaf of bread is probably like locked up.
It's locked up, dude.
With a fucking
a keypad with a fingerprint reader.
Everything, dude. So like this meets your security.
100%
threshold. Okay, good.
100%.
Yeah, so I think they're adding or have already added, support for DMT assets as well, right?
Yeah.
Considering it's all part of the TAP ecosystem, so I guess we can move on to DMT next. As
all
like, if you guys been following us for any amount of time, you pretty much know, that DMT is
not a drug.
It is a drug. It still is. It's still out there. People are, extracting DMT from nature.
Yeah.
That's per your own decisions. We don't endorse that in any way. It just happened to be like a nice little parallel, what's the word? Acronym?
Yeah.
But yeah, in this sense, it's digital matter theory, right? Which is like a whole new, like token genesis protocol. Like, there's a lot to deep dive. We're going to do like an intro to DMT series here, probably next week.
Okay, cool.
If you guys are interested, want to know more. But yeah, as far as TAP ecosystem, like, I guess application, it probably accounts for roughly 50% of like the overall mints in the TAP ecosystem. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's the same thing that BRC20s did with Ordinals. BRC20s accounted for over 50% of all inscriptions just because of its nature.
Oh,
it's
that's true. Yeah, I remember that.
So many mints occurred on BRC20s, and then the transfers of each of those mints, like it just kind of ballooned out of like control.
It's true. Yeah, but it was a good thing overall. It's what really put Ordinals on the map. abroad, like where people started to pay attention, like, holy shit, there's like serious activity happening on Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And then Ordinals got to kind of like piggyback off of that momentum, even though like, you know, some of those original Ordinals OGers didn't really like appreciate BRC20s all that much.
Yeah.
You know, they're more like runes focused, right? So nonetheless, as a result, the ecosystem is expanding, you know, since that point.
Yeah. The more stuff generated, the better, because
I think so.
There's like a network effect as a result.
Yeah, we're talking about Bitcoin here, dude.
Yeah.
That's something that, like, we're talking about next cycle juice. Nobody's really like thought of that.
Yeah.
Right. Me, myself, and whenever we discovered Ordinals, that was what kind of like brought me in. Right?
Yeah. This, like, the current market, the current part of the cycle that we're in right now reminds me of when we were doing the podcast like in 2020, 2021, and like we were dealing with these NFTs.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, these NFTs are cool, but nobody cares.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like nobody cares.
Yeah, we were talking daily. Is like, what is it gonna take? Dude?
Yeah.
It's like, what is? And I remember talking. It's gonna take like when somebody builds a game and somebody sells one of these NFT swords that they
yeah, that's right.
And they buy a Lambo, and there's like a headline for that. Some kid, some 16-year-old, just bought himself a Lamborghini playing, you know, Axie Infinity.
Yeah.
Those things actually ended up happening.
They did.
And those were like catalysts, right, of interest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are the headlines of tomorrow for Ordinals Bitcoin related? I mean,
yeah, I guess somebody needs to buy a Lambo with like some picture project, right?
Yeah, like a Royal or something, or a Nat Cat.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, I guess, yeah, how much are Lambos? Like 200, 300 grand?
Yeah, something like that.
Oof, we got a way to go. Shit.
It's just 100x, dude.
Only 100, measly 100 or 200x from here.
Yeah.
You know?
Not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal at all.
Yeah, so...
so this is mScribe.
Yeah, so this is mScribe. So this is where tokens are launching. We just did one with the Royals.
Yeah.
And so look at this. Holder count 7,000, circulating supply 9,600.
Yeah.
And so 400 or so are still left to be claimed by the deployer because that's the team allocation. But nonetheless, the distribution is quite attractive.
Not only that, to me, the most attractive thing is this new column next to these ubiquitous, I guess, parameters of digital tokens, like supply, holder counts, market value, whatever. We've seen that since the beginning. But we've never seen this element column before. Like, what the fuck are you showing me, mScribe? Why do you have elements on all these tokens?
Yeah, so this is part of the DMT kind of framework where people are discovering patterns within Bitcoin.
Yeah, you can see them. So you have to understand, I guess, like the registry process. So there is like a formalization method. It's all outlined in the Git book. It's not very complicated. You can see right there. You assign a name.
Yeah, corn.
A pattern.
CC.
And then you pick a field of the Bitcoin data set.
Field 11, which is the bits field.
And then that's it. .element is like the official registration format, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Now you could reference this in any like token genesis, you just deployment.
Yeah, so what does this give you? It gives you the non-arbitrary supply of the token.
Exactly. So I was like, well, how do you know when this thing is like showing up in a Bitcoin block, this occurrence of CC?
Well, you have to do data analysis.
Well, who's doing that? Trac is.
Trac, yeah.
Right? So that's the whole point. That's why TAP is connected with Trac, and we could write these logistical parameters through TAP so that the Trac reader decentralized indexing network can actually interpret all this stuff.
Correct.
And we as a platform can properly facilitate this market activity. Right?
That's right.
It's a whole new paradigm, guys. It's tough, but yeah, stay tuned for that series.
Yeah, all this stuff, like you're saying, is exactly new, and that's
not very intuitive.
It's not intuitive, but if you are looking for entertainment value, then you're looking for the new stuff, and
that's what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we could just, Iggy Azalea tokens up 5x, dude. I don't know if you noticed.
No, I haven't noticed.
She's fucking crushing it over there, dude. those buns, dude.
They work.
They work, dude. Why are we doing all this innovation, dude? We just need to slap some cheeks.
Shake ass on Twitter, dude.
And we're fucking in there, dude. I don't think nobody wants to see me slap my cheeks.
I doubt it, dude.
No one's gonna buy my token. Okay.
Yeah, you can't repeat that, dude.
Okay. Damn, dude. She truly is superhuman.
Yeah. All right. So finally looking at this ICP thing that we were talking about earlier, TAP ICP partnership. And so essentially, we were talking about how Bitcoin has this innate property of not being able to scale past thousands of transactions per block.
It's true.
And if it does, it's going to get extremely expensive to be in that block. And so finally, what do you do, right? There's like second layer technologies out there.
Yeah.
And finally, there's Dfinity, which is ICP.
Yeah.
And then that interplay is going to be interesting just because eventually we're going to need this stuff.
100%. Well, yeah, I mean, so I guess ICP offers something very unique in chain fusion technology, they say here. So we've seen like, L2s enter the Bitcoin space, and, up until this point, it's been a very like custodianship heavy experience, right?
Yeah.
You're really relying on these like trusted intermediaries to like really not fuck you over in any way.
Correct.
That's, kind of like, it's acceptable as long as you're aware of those risks and you're willing to, take that gamble. Just perfectly fine. There's no laws against that, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I
mean, maybe it's against like crypto law from like an ethos perspective. It's like, dude, we're kind of like trying to get away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it seems like nobody cares anymore.
That's my point. It's like most people actually do not care. As long as that custodian over there is going to make my number go up.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Take my money.
Take it all, dude. I don't care. Just pump it up.
Yeah.
And please let me take it back at some point. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
So Internet Computer over here is saying with chain fusion, you don't have to worry about that. This is all facilitated through our own smart contracts.
Yeah, correct.
Which introduces another slew of potential concern, right? Smart contracts are not exactly like the most
secure.
Yeah, they're impenetrable vehicle.
Right.
But nonetheless, at least you're more so concerned about code rather than human beings on the other end.
Yeah,
right?
so I'm sure you're wondering, like, well, ICP is like, what does that have to do with Bitcoin? I was like, well, if you scroll down on their website, eventually you'll see Bitcoin, and then you'll see Ordinals and BRC20s.
Yeah.
So there's like a deep integration between ICP and Bitcoin and the ability for conditions to be met on a smart contract affecting the writing capabilities on a Bitcoin blockchain.
Correct. So essentially, the way it's being pitched as of now, it's like you cook up your own Ethereum smart contract, which most developers in Web3 know how to do at this point. Easy,
Chat GPT it. That's
you
it.
want to stake your DMT token? Bring it here to my platform that I've deployed the smart contract on the Ethereum side of things. Oh, but shit, how do I get my Bitcoin to this Ethereum side of the equation? Well, I guess, trusted bridge, right? It'll be there in like 7 days. No, not with this, right? It's locked up into an ICP smart contract, the Bitcoin itself, which is able to interpret these Ethereum contracts and actually react and do its inputs and outputs in, in
a trustless way.
Cross-chain communication, right? Yeah. So clearly we need to do some more investigation. So we reached out to Bob Bodley.
That's right.
We're going to reach out to as many people as we can to really finally understand ICP.
Yeah.
Because we really need
This is quite deep, man.
It is.
There's been very few projects out there that have been like this deep.
I
remember
know.
Graph Protocol maybe is on the realm.
You got that like right away, dude. I remember.
Yeah, but still, it took some effort.
Well, it's because we actually had to use it. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
In our Decentraland days, we needed the graph, right? And so it's like if we needed it, every other developer needed it. So
that's
it's like easy to interpret its value.
Right.
But in ICP's case, it was like, man, it was like one of the only projects with like a daunting
like research project.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, dude. And so we haven't really made a proper deep dive analysis of it. So, but that thing called universe, dude, it's chosen us.
Yeah.
Because of our close integration with TAP is like now we're forced to understand it, right?
Yeah.
To your benefit, guys. Now you will too.
Yeah. So the more that we understand it, the better that we can explain it, and the more that we're likely going to use it.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah, based on what I'm reading,
that's pretty cool.
Sounds very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Non-arbitrary tokens. We could probably easily deploy like some DeFi application now.
Yeah, BlockFi, dude. It's
BlockFi
coming.
is actually a potential thing.
Yeah.
Right. It always was, but there was a lot more again like logistical contingencies. But now, if we're able to truly leverage Ethereum smart contract capability and not have to worry about like the bridging aspect of Bitcoin assets, specifically TAP assets, then dude, I foresee a potential golden era. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll see.
Yeah, so finally TAP has launched on CoinList. CoinList, one of the bigger launch platforms for a token. And so the price is set at $3.57, market value of 75 million, or network value of 75 million.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so it's happening right now. Today's the 4th, so by the time this video goes out, guys, you're talking like hours are left
before it ends
in this thing. So
it ends June 5th.
Yeah, and it says here June 28th is if you traders, you're anticipating, when do these things hit the exchanges? End of the month.
Yeah.
And from there, we'll kind of like, we'll really truly see and understand like what is TAP.
Yeah.
TAP is going to be in the hands of the users, the holders, and we're going to see an ecosystem, I guess, flourish from there.
Yeah. So we were talking about Trac at the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
It's like, where's it at now? So
God, remember, look at that little peak, dude.
Yeah, it started at 5 cents.
Yeah, we made our first like introduction video at like 10 cents maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking like 300, 400,000 market cap, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite the sleeper, right?
Yeah, and so if you watch our previous video, we're talking about oscillators versus degenerators. So the one way to determine that is if you hit the log button here, you can see this is quite the oscillation.
I guess just because there was like a second wave, right? If it would have just kind of like degenerated after that first euphoric uprise, then it wouldn't have met the oscillation criteria.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, So, I mean, it's Trac token, right? It's part of the ecosystem that facilitates the TAP protocol, right?
Right.
Again, we rely on Trac's indexing heavily. Actually, entirely, basically.
Yeah.
As all these other developers building on TAP will. So this token, the BRC20 token, Trac has, its use and all that, and making sure, the validation of all this information is
that's right.
accurate.
Yeah, this Trac token is going to be used for the validation network for decentralizing the indexer. Yeah,
which is, I mean, that's a big. I don't know. That can't be overstated or understated.
Yeah, that can't be overstated
enough.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's critically important. If you're developing in this space, you understand that. So, I mean, do with that information whatever you want to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for us. If we miss anything as far as the TAP ecosystem, if you're part of the TAP ecosystem, let us know in the comment section below. And this is a huge thing for TAP. And it's definitely a huge thing for us just because we have like a method to really expand the, I guess, the scalability of everything that we're doing.
Yeah, we kind of have like now pretty much like a much more clear like outline of the future, I guess, like depending on how we wanted to scale this DMT ecosystem into like a much more, an even more functional direction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right now DMT is this showcase of like as much function as you could do on Bitcoin, right? There's no other tokens on Bitcoin that actually expand in any direction.
Correct.
Right? So it's like so as of right now, we're already pushing the ball forward into like a much more robust direction. So yeah, this is interesting. It's like our future has set. All of a sudden, like some shrubs have been cut. Dude.
Yeah,
so
right.
Now we can kind of see where we're headed.
That's right.
It's interesting.
All right, guys, that's it for the video. I appreciate you guys for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.